Hi everyone. In today's video we will going to create apps from UiPath and we will going to use this VB expression here. Now why we are not using this legacy, because this will going to be phasing out very soon. So we have to start utilizing this VB. Let me give some name. My first app. Now if you see here, there is one option which is public app. If you enable this, in that case this app will be accessible publicly. Publicly means the person who is outside the organization can access this app. So for now I am unchecking this and I am creating my first app. So it start initializing app. Now if you see, there are few options here where if you want a template to be utilized or you want to build an app from the scratch. So there are different templates. We will explore it one by one. For now let's start with the blank page. Now to the left we have main page, which is highlighting in red, where if you click on these three dots you can add new page, you can duplicate this page, and also you can rename this page. App variable is something where you can create a variable here itself in the app and you can utilize these variable itself in this app you have created or a project you have created. Now to add any pages you can click on this arrow, you can add any pages. If you want to add any controls, you can click here on the add controls, where you can add controls from input, display, containers and icons. You can explore these options to see what are the controls available. Now we will going to utilize these controls going forward. Also you see, we have entity, process, storage bucket and queues. So we can directly connect this app to entity, process, storage bucket and the queues. To the right you see we have general, events and the style tabs. In the general we can provide the description and the tooltip of this page. If you want to show the loading progress indicators, you can check this, otherwise you can uncheck this. So by default this will going to be checked. In the events you can create the event for any page or any control. We're going to create some of the events going forward in this video. In the style you can change the style of any page or control. You can change the layouts, you can change the background colors, border fonts, margin, padding and the size. Now let's start building the app. So we will going to design this form first in the app, where this is the heading which is issue forms, and we are having some text boxes with issue names and description. Also we have here radio buttons with yes and no option. If the user select yes, in that case the user have to provide the IT number and the status. The status will be a drop down having a different values like pending, assigned. Now if the user select no, then the user have to provide the description, that why the ticket is not raised, and then the user have to click on submit button to submit all this information. So here if you see, we will going to use text boxes, radio buttons, drop downs, button and the show hide options. Like if it is yes, this panel should come. If it is no, then this panel should come. So we are going to utilize all these things in the app. Let's start creating app. Let me go to the cloud. Okay, so first what I'm going to do, let me change the style of this. Let me put some background here. So I have just selected color for the background for this page. Rest I'm not changing anything here on the main page. Click on add control, then click on display and then drag drop this header here. Let me change the text of this. So when you go to the general and click on text, you can put here the header text. So my header text will be IT issues form. Okay. After this, you can go back to the style. First select this and then go to the style again. Now I want this header to be displayed in the middle of this page. So I'll click on this part. You can change the style if you want a big heading, or if you want a small heading, you can change it from here itself in the style. Let me choose headline 1. Okay. Rest I'm not changing anything. You can explore these options. You can give margin also, you can give padding. Okay, you can, if you want, you can bold it. Okay. This is for alignments of the text. Now the next thing is I want issue name and issue description text boxes. So this is the header here. You see in the main page itself we have header. Now you can see the hierarchy. Now if I click on control again and put a label from the display itself, let me put the label here, first label, and this is second label here. You can also copy paste the label, or you can create a duplicate labels like this. So if you want one more label to be created, you click here and click on duplicate. It will create one more label. Okay. So for now I have used a drag drop option to put the two labels here. Let me change the text of the two labels. One is issue name. Again I have to go to general. Let me put issue name here, and second is issue description. Issue description. Okay. Also you can change the name of this on clicking rename label issue, and this is for label issue description. So this is optional. It depends whether you want to hide a specific label and the text boxes or a specific fields, then just use a proper naming convention. Now after this I need to put two text boxes. So I'll go to the input. I'll find where is the text box here. So this is text box. Let me put it here. Let me put the text box here again. Now if you see the text box itself also having label, if you don't want a separate label to be created, you can utilize this label also. So in both ways you can do. It depends upon the design, how you want to design your form. So how it works, for example, this is the label here, right? So this label can be changed as, for example, uh, issue name, like this. So this is the whole control which is having a label also and the text box also. Okay. So in the both ways you can work. For now I'm utilizing a separate label instead of using the pre-built label of text box. So what I'll do, I'll click here and remove this. Similar way I'll click this one and remove label from here. Now I am having only text box here. Okay. Now we have put issue name, issue description. Similar way, let me put the radio buttons also. So before that I'll put a label, then is IT ticket raised. Let me go to the controls. Let me find the radio button. You will find the radio button in input itself. Similar way, I'm going to remove this label value here. Apart from this, I'm not going to change anything here. Let it be like this. After this, then if it is yes, then IT number and status will come. If it is clicked as yes, then we want these two controls to be displayed, and if it is no, then we want the description to be displayed. So there are two ways. Either you hide label, text boxes, then again label and text boxes. So basically we have to hide these four control, 1 2 3 4, when it is clicked as no. When it is clicked as yes, we have to hide two controls here, because this is one control and this is another control, so these are two controls here. Instead of doing like this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a container. Inside the container, I'm going to put the ticket number text box and status and text box. Whenever it is clicked as no, then this container will not be displayed. It is displayed as a false. So first let's put the label here, IT ticket number. So for now I'm just putting labels in the text box. After that I will put these into the container. I want to show you that what will happen if I'm not going to use the container. So this is ID ticket number, then text box. Okay, text box here. Then uh, let me remove this. Let me put the status, label status, then text box for status. I think I will choose in the text area. Use the text box, and then description. Description, and then text box here. Now if you see the form, there is one more thing remaining. Let me put that also, just button. In the button, let me make it submit. Okay, I will add one more button, which is clear button. Okay. Let me change the color of this, and this one I make it green. Okay, so this is done now. So till now what we have done, we have used header control, and then we have put it in the center with the help of this property. After that I have used some labels and text box to create issue names, description, and the radio button. Then some of the labels in the text box to create IT ticket number, status, and description. So here in the status, instead of text box, I'm going to use the drop down. If you remember, this status should be reflected as drop down with pending and assigned value. So let me add the control and use the drop down. Okay. Same thing I have to do here also. Let me clear out this value. Okay. So far we are good. And if you want to preview this page, you can preview from here. But before this, let me change the style, the background to white color again. When you click on the preview, you will see your form will appear in the browser. Okay, so if you see, we have issue name, description, IT ticket raise. This is coming as no data because right now we have not binded this control. Ticket number, status, similar way status also we have not binded this control, so it is coming as blank. So let me change the text of this also. This is coming as a button, but this should come as a submit. Okay, so you can click on the save now also whenever you are doing the changes, and if you forget to click on the save now, don't worry because this will going to be saved automatically. So if you see the preview of this form, it is coming to the left, but we want this to come at the center here. So what I have to do, if you select the page and if you try to change the things, you see everything is messed up, right? It is not coming in the right way. So what we can do, either if you try to use the controls one by one at the center, you see it is coming like this, but we want this label to come to the left and the text box also start from the left side only. So what we can do in this case, let me put it as it is. So we will start using the containers here. Now you will get to know what is the use of container. So let me click on the add control and go to the container. So just drag off this container here. Once you drag drop this container here, what you have to do, you have to put issue name. Just click here and drag drop this issue name into the container. Similar way you drag drop this text box inside the container. Okay. Now let me click on the container and change the position of this container. Now if you are changing the position, you see this label and the text box is coming perfectly. So what I'll do, let me put it as a center, and let me other things here, description. Whenever you drag drop any control inside the container, you see whenever this line come up, this one you see, when this line, blue line appears here, then just release this control. Similar way, let's release this, let's release this. This line shows that your control will going to be placed here in the container now. Now let me place all the control inside this container. Okay, for this one, submit and clear, I'm going to use another container. I want to separate it out, so I'm going to use another container here, and then I'll put submit, submit and clear. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the container and then utilize this option horizontal. So right now it is coming vertically. Now let's click on the horizontal, and then you see the submit and clear button is coming one after other. Also, if you want, you can remove this width from here also. It will work. If you make it auto, then it will going to utilize only that much of a space that is required. Okay, now I want this to come here, so you can click on the center, right, whichever position you find it better for submit and clear, you can utilize this. Now let's preview this app. So now it is looking better than the previous one. It is having header, IT issue form in the center, and all the information below it. So this is how we have created the design of app successfully. Now in the next video we will going to see how we can bind the radio button and the drop downs. Thanks for watching my video. Have a great day.